not crying, you're crying. It happens at the worst possible times, in scary situations and situations fraught with anger, touching moments, painful injuries, sad times, happy times, unexplainable times. Lately, a little bit every day, I get overcome with emotion, and I start to well up. Sometimes it's in a public forum. Other times I'm watching TV or reading a book. Sometimes I have no idea why or when I'll well up. But I do. Sometimes I can swallow deeply and suppress the tears that are about to flow, and I know why I do that. I don't like to feel out of control. I'm sure I've had or have heard enough times in my life the kind of garbage that real men don't cry. And that really is garbage. Harmful, life-sucking garbage. Generations of people have been taught that emotions were to be hidden and that tears were a sign of weakness. In the church, in business, in politics, at school, on the playground, everywhere, tear shaming. There needs to be a societal shift on that. There needs to be a church shift on that. Tears, laughter, and emotional expressions are part of being a human. So please, let the tears flow. Let your laughter be bold. Raise your hands during a time of great uplift. Clap when you have to. And as I've said so many times in memorial services, cry and laugh boldly. No tear shaming. Do you remember the movie Broadcast News? Holly Hunter's character, Jane Craig, she was very organized about crying. She set a timer for herself to have a good cry, and it helped her to not cry at other times, well, it seems. Having a good cry is good, but holding it in at inopportune times can be very not good. When I don't hold in crying, when I don't try to suppress the tears, it is a marvelous and refreshing thing. If I can get past the embarrassment or uncomfortable feelings I may have about crying, it is a marvelous, refreshing thing. I'm not saying that I'm always successful with that, and I'm not saying that I'll ever get better at it, but when I don't try to suppress the tears, it's good, it's refreshing, it's necessary, life-giving. Mary Magdalene went to the tomb early on the first day of the week. It was still dark outside. She discovered that the stone had been rolled away. She ran and told Peter and John that Jesus was gone, and she didn't know where his body was. Peter and John ran to the empty tomb. John ran faster, and it wasn't a competition, although the writer of John thought that it was necessary to indicate that maybe it was a competition. The two were running together, but the other disciple outran Peter and reached the tomb first. Why is that bit there? Is there some kind of ongoing rivalry between Peter and John in the book of John? Well, yes, there is. John is the disciple whom Jesus loved. Peter is Peter. Also notice that though John made it to the tomb first, he didn't go in. Peter did. I don't think that the story of the resurrection is better or worse because of that scene, but that scene is there. But let me go on. They saw, they believed, and they didn't exactly understand what had happened. And then they went back to their homes. But Mary didn't leave. She just stood there, weeping. I know that two angels came and asked her why she was weeping. I know that at some point in the conversation with them, she realized that she was talking to Jesus and that he was alive. And I'm sure that Mary still stood weeping. I've tried in the past to put somehow into words the emotions that Mary was feeling on that first Easter morning. She stood weeping. Why? She would say something like, I'm weeping because Jesus is dead, and I don't know where to look for him. He's gone, and Peter and John just came and looked, and then they left, and I'm confused, and I'm angry, and I'm lost. And even after Jesus was there with her, I'm weeping because you weren't here, and now you're here, and I'm weeping because I'm thrilled, and I'm confused, and I'm angry, and I'm grateful, and I'm shaking, and this is just too much. It's really you. You're alive. Today we celebrate. Today we still weep. Lots of emotions run through Easter. Every one of them is a legitimate reaction to this powerful, extraordinary day. Experience them boldly. Laugh, dance, smile, breathe, deep, cry. They're all good. But Mary stood weeping. Amen.